House. This dog is 7 years old. You would never know it. So fit and active. And yes, I'm handicapped, but I still exercise my dogs physically, giving them much physical exercise. We've been doing this for an hour. House. This dog, again, 7 years old, very demanding in getting physical exercise on a regular basis. You will not find any fat on her whatsoever. She's never been bred. She's not a breeding dog. She eats a healthy kibble. She gets exercised regularly. She's not too fat. She's not skinny. She's fit, which in turn helps her stay healthy and active. Believe it or not, she actually has a bad hip. That's why it's important to keep her in shape and healthy. Want to catch? Good catch. House. When she was a young puppy, she decided to try to jump over the railing on a deck instead of taking the stairs down, which did cause her a small hip injury, on top of another situation that I'm not going to talk about. House. Sits. Come. Sits. Sit. Blocks. Ready? Go. They've been running and playing all day. Soon it'll be time to go in for lunch and eat. For both of us, I eat the same time. All my dogs are fed. Lucas has already gone in via the dog door. He gets tired very quickly, gets hot. He's a very muscular dog. Bouviers carry a much heavier body. Ouse. No, we're not tug-of-warring. Ouse. Good. He's growing so quickly. He is already almost an inch taller than her, which of course the males are taller than the females. And her being check line, she's also smaller, as well as being female. And my 4 chickens are enjoying the extra shade tarp we put on. The wind can get through it, but the sun can't. So they've been enjoying their dust baths and digging in the dirt. They dig to get grubs, and they fluff up the dirt up under their wings and stuff. And we put lime in there on a regular basis. It's called barn lime. It's not the same lime that goes on the grass. It's less caustic. And we also put diatomaceous earth, the food grade type, to keep any mites and stuff out. These chickens have over 1,000 square foot for 4 small chickens. 4. in the exterior part of their pen to play in. And they have 800 square foot interior. This is not one of these little teeny chicken coops that you see on like Amazon or something. They have one of those garden sheds. And there's an automatic door that opens and closes when the sun comes up and it goes down. It's solar. Their water only needs to be filled once a week. It gets cleaned and filled. It's an automatic waterer that they come up and use, the watering system. Their feeder is indoors. You fill a 50-pound bag of food inside of it, and that's only required to be done once every 8 weeks. So there's also no upkeep for that either. And the chicken mulch for their flooring inside only has to be changed every 6 months. So that's once every 6 months. My husband shovels it out to put it in the bins for the compost for the garden. Once every 6 months, the bed of the shed has to be changed out and taken to the mulch pile and fresh shavings put down. So their food and water, the water is once a week. The food is once every 8 weeks. And the bedding is once every 6 months. And the chickens are let in and out via the electronic door every morning and every night. The eggs are collected every evening by my husband. So, yeah, that's chicken life in the modern era. You don't have to go out and scatter food for them or anything like that. They have a tree to play in, a big fig tree inside their coop. These chickens have the ultimate life. They have like 10 times the amount of space that is required for 4 chickens, so that they have more than sufficient space for 4 little chickens. And each of this breed of chicken that I have 3 breeds of chickens, and they range from 200 eggs to 360 eggs per chicken per year. So we give plenty of eggs away because it's more than we can consume for our family. So we don't buy eggs. Plus, they're such pretty colors. You know, so not only do we give our produce that our garden grows, that my husband maintains, but we also give eggs away. I had to put an electronic lock type dog door. Go lay down, go rest. Enough, go rest. I had to put, see, she has to be told to go rest. I know she's had enough, so I told her to go rest, and she's laying down. I had to put an electronic lock on the dog door downstairs, and we are wondering if we are going to remove the dog door, because that's how the cat got in to have the kittens. It's not a good idea. We are live trapping her soon because you can't get near her. She's completely wild. You can't get near her. She's healthy, but she's completely feral. The dogs are not allowed down in the basement while she has her kittens down there. The kittens have been handled on a daily basis. The animals have not been allowed in the basement since the kittens have been found down there. We found them a week after she had them, approximately a week. We don't know exactly how old they are because we didn't know she was there. The dogs will kill anything that comes into the yard, like possums or anything, because they protect the chickens. But they didn't kill this mama cat or her kittens. And they were in the basement about a week before I found out they were down there, because I heard them mewling. So we are doing the right thing and keeping the mom contained until she's ready to wean her babies. Then we are live trapping her and taking her in to the feral cat program, where they will spay her and they will place her as a barn cat. They will give her her shots and they will spay her, and then they will clip the top of her ear to show that she is in the feral program, and they will take her to somebody's barn to release her to be a barn cat. That will keep from our neighborhood having cat colonies and breeding cats. So I'm already scheduled to have a cat trap dropped off to trap her. The kittens will be put into a program to be spayed and neutered and be adopted out. My cat passed away 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, right after we bought this house. She was 13 years old. I have been tempted to get a cat, but I really did not want to add one to my family right now. I don't see the need for it. I love having all the wild birds come around my house and everything. And, you know, when I have a cat, it's an indoor-only animal anyway. I don't believe in having indoor-outdoor cats. And no, I'm more of a dog person. We don't have mice. We're not out in the country. So I don't see the sense in having a cat right now, and I don't really want a cat. But my husband loves cats. He's the one that really wants to keep one of the kittens. I also do not video or spend time with one of the dogs because it's not my dog. It's my husband's dog. The Bouvier is a laid-back dog. He doesn't like to do as much activity as the Shepherds. So he's always laying out under the shade sleeping. When I'm at home, my female Shepherd is my service dog. When I go off, my Bouvier is my service dog. The puppy is taking over for her so she can retire. So they're a partnership. I hope this can clear up some of the things that have been asked. What was another question somebody asked? Oh, am I leeching off of my husband? Last I knew, when you are married, it's a joint account, joint finances in most marriages. Have I contributed? Yes, definitely. I do all the housework. My husband does not hire a maid. I do our taxes, our finances. I do all the scheduling of anything in the household that needs to be done. I arrange all the grocery shopping. I cook all the meals. Besides that, I have held multiple jobs. I've had a full-time career, which had a 401k. From that, I invested in my own stocks. You know, I've had my career. I've raised our children to adulthood. So, is this saying that any woman, any wife, is a leech if they don't work outside the home currently? Is that what these people are saying? That all women, all housewives suck from their husbands? Do they really want to take that stand? But no, I have my own money for my own stuff, my own hobbies. I don't know what's trying to be said. Do I have to bully my husband? No. Do I have to ask my husband for anything? No. I make my own money. Even now, to this day, as an artist, I make my own money. Even though I'm not working for somebody else as a career, I make my own money. I'm also a paid dog trainer. I have 2 clients coming tomorrow. I am still paid to this day for my services. So no, I am gainfully employed. It's not for a company. It's for myself. So besides what I have in my own savings from when I had my career and my retirement that I invested in with my 401k, not that it's in anybody's business, you know, no, my husband does not fund my activities. And even if he did, why would you insult housewives across America? Just because I'm handicapped? Really? Just because I'm handicapped and I'm not on any government assistance of any kind, why should I get insulted? Just because I'm married? Do you know in the USA, if you are married, your husband or your partner, whoever you are with, doesn't have to be a husband. If you are with someone and they are head of household and they are gainfully employed, you don't get the automatic right to have any kind of compensation for being handicapped. You don't get services. It's pretty screwed up. I paid in for that. But I don't get any benefit. No matter how many medical expenses I have, no matter how much we pay out for medical, it doesn't matter. That's why so many people are not marrying their partners these days, because you get handicapped for it. But we choose to stay together and stay married. We choose to remain, to keep our marital status, even though it handicaps us financially. I know people that have gotten divorces and still live together because of that reason. Because in their age, it has financially hurt them more to stay married. That is part of this problem in today's politics. The way everything is written, the way it's ruled out, it hurts you to stay married. But we do so because we choose to do so. Financially, it would be easier on us if we did divorce on paper only. We would have more benefit to not be married on paper. But we choose to take a stance against that and remain married. And say, screw you to all of that. We will do without it because, we live simply. We grow food, we preserve it, we do the extra work to make our money go further. That's why I have chickens. That's why I grow a garden. I still am active. Just because I'm handicapped doesn't mean I'm not active. Doesn't mean that I don't go out and do everything in my power that I can do. I'm handicapped. I'm physically damaged. I have medical disorders. I am sick. Yes, I am very sick. But I don't lay around in my fucking bed all day. You don't get a tan this early in the season by laying in your bed all day. I am outdoors all the time, exercising my dogs, training other people's dogs, doing activities. Just because I am physically handicapped does not mean that I am miserable laying around moaning and bitching about it. I choose to look at what I can do. I choose to do what I can do. I don't go, all the time. I'm turning 56 this Saturday. I don't look at, oh my God, I'm getting this age. How little do I have left? Hell no. I'm going to make sure I'm going to be here as long as I can be. And the only way to do that is to take care of myself and stay active. Am I have a big belly? Yes, I do. I have no thyroid. Of course I have a big belly. My legs don't work. I have a big belly. I also have endometriosis, and I have endocrine disorders, and I have had these issues my whole life. Plus, I have birthed 2 very big children. Every organ in my body swells up. I am on anti-inflammatories twice a day, every day for 20 years now? I have to get my kidneys tested constantly because I'm also on antidiuretics. I mean, you people just don't know anything about me, but yet you want to spew falsehoods consistently. If anybody really wants to talk to me, I have always been open about what is wrong with me. My channel is about educating and empowering disabled, to give you information and tools that it took me 25 years of living as a disabled person to help people feel empowered, to not sit around and feel sorry for yourself. If you want to get empowered and get a job while being disabled, because I worked the whole time while being disabled until I could no longer do it. If you want to empower yourself and impassion yourself and find joy in life and be active and have activity and find the joy in life, be joyful, be active. That is my goal. That is the message I want to spread. That is what my channel was made for. It wasn't just about dogs. It was about the life I live with my dogs and the freedom it gives me and what I go out into the world every day doing with my dogs and how it empowers me. And the activity that these guys have given me in my life despite the drawbacks. I mean, yeah, it's difficult, but I have never stopped doing day to day as a wife, a mother, caretaker of my home. I mean, no, I don't know the systems. I don't know anything about any of the systems because I've never, ever made use of them. I have never been on the systems. I never started out as disabled. I never had anybody in my life that was on any kind of system. So if you're looking for that kind of information, I can't provide it because I have no clue. I've always had a regular life until I started getting ill in my 20s. And when you start having symptoms, nobody can put it together. The medical system is so broken because doctors only treat what you are actively going through. There are no diagnostics. You have to fight for diagnostics. And you have to fight so hard. So even when you have a clue what's going on, they just want to keep treating you and treating you and treating you. It seems like there's more money in the treating than the fixing. So they really don't want to fix you. They don't want to take care of the problem. They want the problem to keep going on. They never want to fix anything. Because if they fixed you, then they wouldn't get any more maintenance money. And I've always had very good personal insurance. So, they just keep maintaining your problems instead of fixing the problems. And some of my problems could have been fixed. So those are the things I would like to discuss. Those are the problems I would like to discuss. Until discussions like those happen, our problems cannot be encountered and fixed in America. That's what's broken. They want doctors to only see their patients for 15 minutes. They don't want the patients to all get together and compare notes and figure out what the hell is going on in the systems. And they just want people to keep being cared for and everything. And they want people to stay sick, it seems, because they don't want to cure anyone. Have you noticed nobody's being cured of anything? You're maintained until you die. They don't want to fix anyone. Because if they fixed us, holy hell, we would be, living longer. And it seems like they need to cure that because then we'd be a drain on Social Security that we paid into. And then there would be too many people on this earth. I finally got my cancer taken care of because I have so many other medical problems. I'm going to die of those. Let's face it, I'm not going to be one of these long-lived people. I've already come to terms to that long ago. My mom had some of the problems I had, and I was shocked she lived into her 80s before she died. Thank God my sons are not showing the signs of the same symptoms I had. Thank God it doesn't seem like they're having it, but I'd like to nip it in the bud. I'd like to find out what causes the problems I've had. Was it due to the third world country my parents and I lived in that caused it? Was it environmental? All of the family members that have shown the same problems I had all lived in the same environment. I got my kids and I left. My kids have not been sick with anything the rest of the family has been sick from. I've lost most of my family members that have lived in all of the places I lived. They're all dead. And, I would just love to find out what causes the problems that I've had in my life physically so that other people don't have to have those problems. And some of my medical stuff was caused by physical damage. I have not talked much about that. Not all of my stuff was caused by disease. I had an accident that I have not talked about. I've had traumatic brain injury and leg injuries from accident that I have not talked about. And I will not talk about it on my channel. So no one on the channel knows 100% of my problems, issues, or medically what is going on with me. No one knows 100%. But that's the thing. Not everyone on social media tells their whole life. If you tell your whole life to social media, you have a problem. You should never tell your whole everything to social media. Case in point was the stuff that was done to me. It's just not a good idea. Not a good idea. I mean, I only have one cousin left. My sons, that's all the blood family I have left. So a lot of the medical stuff that I have gone through was enough to kill off everybody in my family, pretty much. And so, I would like to have questions answered. I have been so curious to take the genetic testings, but again, I don't really think it's a good idea to have your genetics out there because there's no laws on what they can take and do with your genetic material, and the results, the results of that genetic testing or not. So until there are laws in place to protect the people who offer that genetic material for those tests, I'm not going to do it. I choose not to do it, even if it were to provide some answers. I think more people should speak out and do live streams comparing notes on the medical problems that they know that are diagnosed by doctors. That's my other pet peeve. Don't say you have this or you have that unless you have official diagnosis. You can't go around saying you have a problem if it has not been medically put into your charts by a doctor. Because that is confusing so many people about what they may be trying to find out for their own needs. When you go around talking about the medical problems you're having and talking about symptoms and doing this and doing that, some people may be trying to reach out really for something that they need, question-wise, that is a true need for their life, for something they're really going through. And if you have not been diagnosed and it's not in your chart, it's not diagnosed by a doctor, then don't say you have it. It only counts if it's a diagnosis in your chart. If you have not been tested and diagnosed and a doctor point blank says you officially have A, B, or C, then don't say it. Don't claim it if it's not diagnosed. That is so misleading. And it's a lie. It's a lie. If it's not officially diagnosed, then don't claim it. That is one of the worst kinds of liars out there. I'm sorry, but I feel that way. These people that go around and falsely say that they have these diagnoses that they've never been diagnosed with. It's ridiculous. And then to sit there and say, oh, I feel this because I have that, or I feel this because I have that. It's so misleading. It's like you have your own kind of form of Munchausen's, only it's in your mind. I don't know what the official terms are for it, but you are misleading so many people and making so many people afraid needlessly. I wish I had $1 for every person that says they have things like Ehlers-Danlos when they don't have it. And all these other conditions that are rare and they don't have it. That is a huge pet peeve with me. If you have not been definitively, yes, you absolutely have this, not, well, I guess you could, and then you never went through the testing and never been diagnosed. Or you read the symptoms online and so you self-diagnosed yourself. Or you're trying to bully the doctors into giving you that diagnosis. It's ridiculous. Anything that I have ever said I have is because it's in my documents. I have been diagnosed by multiple doctors and I am being treated for it. I have always backed it up. Always. I will not say I have A, B, or C unless a doctor has diagnosed me completely for it. I don't say I have this because I think I have it, or because I suspect I have it, or because a doctor says I might have it. That's not the way it works. Not the way it works in the real world. So I think that covers everything. I didn't think I was going to cover all these topics. I was just really just going to show my dogs playing. But I guess I had more on my mind than I thought. I was just enjoying the beautiful outdoors. We have had so much rain. But today is actually clear skies, and I think it's going to be that way today. I need to eat lunch. My sugars are probably going to drop if I don't. It's got to be getting after 12. We've been out here a long time, several hours. So I'm dreading getting back inside. It's always a trip. I'm thinking about getting a golf cart to help with this. My shoulders are starting to have problems. I have a large, what they call a freewheel on the front of my wheelchair. That helps me get in and out of back here. It's the only way I'm able to get in and out of back here. I meant to do a video about that because a lot of people don't know about a freewheel. So I thought about doing a video about that. But my shoulders are getting to the point that I'm probably going to have to switch from using the wheelchair, not so much outdoors. It is still hard. Even with pathways that I use and a freewheel, it's hard. You can't use a motor in the grass. You can't use, it says you can, but you really can't. It would burn up the motor after so long, and it would put grass in it. And motorized wheelchairs, it says you can take them off-road, but you can't really. It's just cheaper and easier to get a golf cart and put your wheelchair in the back. So I'm thinking about it. I have so much acreage. That's the other thing. People are like, oh, you have so many animals. One, I'm not the only person that lives here. Two, I'm not the only one that enjoys animals that live here. Both my husband and my son also love animals. I don't know if people in other people's lives, the men don't enjoy animals, but in my family, the men enjoy the animals as much as I do. My son plays with the dogs all the time. My husband absolutely loves the chickens and my lizard. And he is actually the one that bought me my first tortoise as a gift for our anniversary. And I'm talking about the house tortoises, not the outdoor tortoises. The outdoor tortoises were my parents' tortoises. I inherited those tortoises. They're 80 plus years old. I inherited my big tortoises from my parents. My older son is taking my small tortoises when I pass away. My daughter-in-law is taking my bearded dragon when I pass away, if I still have her, if my husband doesn't want him. My husband loves my bearded dragon. My husband absolutely, but if he doesn't have time for her full time, my daughter-in-law wants her. I make plans for every animal I have. They are all very well cared for. Animals cost money to take care of. I would not have animals that I could not give enough time for or proper care for. All the animals on this property are not mine. The cats are strays. Like I said, if I keep a cat, it's because it's my husband that wants the cat. It would not be my cat. It would be my husband's cat. The chickens are egg suppliers. They're not pets, even though my husband treats them like pets. They're for eggs. They're not pets. Just the same way as service dogs are not exactly pets, but I treat them like pets. Because how could you not? You can't treat a dog like medical equipment. No matter how many people try to say they're medical equipment, they're not simply medical equipment. That's just the way the law looks at them. You have to give dogs affection and love and care. I also have a 3,600 square foot home. I have space. Not only that, I have the land that my house sits on, plus I own the lot next door to it. So I have the acre my home is on. Well, it's just shy of an acre, but I also have the lot next door to it. That's the fenced in area that my chickens and my garden is on, that we're always playing in. It's the lot next door to my yard and house. So I have another acreage next door to the other where I have another whole lot. So I have the space to put all my animals to play with and take care of and maintain, not only in my house, but in the yard. I don't have to go off to exercise my animals. They have plenty of exercise room here. I don't have to go off to do it. I don't have to put my dog on a leash to take it out to potty. They go in and out the dog door, or I open the door and they go out into the fence. So I don't know why people are trying to judge me to their standards. I don't live in an 800 approximately square foot apartment. As I said, I'm in a 3,600 square foot home. I'm not restricted money-wise. I pay $85 a bag of dog food. So obviously I can afford my dogs. Who chooses to pay $85 a bag of dog food if they can't afford the dogs they own? So it's nobody's fucking business how many dogs I own, as long as I'm within legal rights where I live for what I own. I'm allowed 6 chickens. I own 4 chickens. I don't even own up to the legal amount of chickens that I can own legally. So it's nobody's fucking business what I own. I am not doing anything that is illegal. I am not doing anything that is wrong. I am not doing anything that is poor care to my animals. My chickens eat all organic, non-HMO chicken grains. They don't eat crack corn stupid diet. I don't throw them out of a fence to fend for themselves and scrounge food. They eat the best food that is available to chickens. They also get vegetation and vegetables, and they even get meat because chickens are omnivores. They eat everything and they need a high protein content. I don't even feed my bearded dragon just crickets. She gets vegetation and she gets worms like hornworms and waxworms and mealworms. I don't feed crickets. Crickets are a very cheap, bad diet for bearded dragons. My tortoises, they get grasslands. They get dried flowers. You don't just feed them just romaine lettuce. That's a bad diet for a tortoise. Giving a tortoise the wrong lighting and everything else makes them constipated. That's why they get constipated. They need the proper lighting and proper food so they don't get constipated. The second tortoise that I recently got, I was asked by my friends at Animal Control to take in as a foster. Yes, Animal Control had me come get it because they had no way to take care of it, and they knew I could take care of it for them. And then I ended up adopting it because I have an outdoor enclosure and an indoor enclosure for it. Yes, my tortoises, my tiny house tortoises now have an outdoor enclosure complete with plants just for them to live in. So, I mean, anybody trying to say that I'm wrong in the animals that I own, they better back up. I mean, even the dog treats that I use is dehydrated meat of the highest quality. I don't go around on free cycle like some people and pick up food from strangers that's been opened, or somebody's dog died and they're giving away the food and changing their food constantly, or bullshit like that. My dogs are very well cared for. This is cared for dogs. House. This is what it looks like when a dog is well cared for and well exercised. And it's not just because she's a very well-bred dog. See her limping a little now? Go rest. Enough. Go rest. All my animals are very well cared for. Hate on me as much as you like, but you cannot say that I'm not doing right by my animals. So, you can take it and stick it. Eli, quit digging. The chickens think you're going to give them worms. You are not digging them some grubs. See? All my dogs love on the chickens and take good care of them. And the chickens know it. Look at them. They're best friends. They are not afraid of my dogs. Eli, stop. The chickens are like, please dig for us. Please dig for us. Let us do it. We are all one big happy family over here. All animals must have light, air, basic qualities of living. They should not be kept cooped up all the time. That's why my tortoises have an outdoor. That's why my bearded dragon has an outdoor enclosure and goes outside, even if it's just for a visit outdoors. All animals should experience at least sunlight. I feel so bad for anything that never feels sunlight any part of its life. Never gets to see the light. You gotta have light. Oh my God, you have to have light. Even if it's just from good bulbs, you have to have a light. Or out a window. Everything must have a window. What would you like it if you were kept in a cage in a windowless room for your whole freaking life? You never got to see where there's a window. How would you like to be in a windowless, solitary room with no window for your whole life? I could not imagine existence like that. No window for your whole life. No window. I can't even be indoors without this view. I could not even be indoors all the time. Hell no to that. Right, girlie? Bye.